This video is designed to give you some idea of how to navigate our brand new client portal as part of our Theranest electronic health records. We're going to walk you through just what it looks like, what to expect when you log on, and if you have any questions, you're always welcome to reach out and contact us at StorieBrook. So here you'll see a video playing of a fake client. For example, this person has received a message to join the client portal. It's telling them to log in to get started. So the first thing you're going to do is click on that link. It will take you to a login screen similar to this one, although this one is because I had been logged out due to inactivity. You can either create your account or log in, and the first thing you're going to be asked to do as a brand new client is to update your demographic information. There's two pieces to this. The first one is this front screen. This is all the information that you're going to give us about yourself, your contact information, your date of birth, and some of your intersecting identities. So you're going to go down, you're going to give all of your contact information for where you live. You're welcome to select an emergency contact person. We do encourage you to do this just in case something happens during your session and we need to call somebody for you. And then you're going to put in your demographic information. You start with your birth date, and then as you can see, all of the drop-down menus below, you have the opportunity to select undefined. That's a useful thing for a time when maybe your particular identity is not represented on this particular menu. If so, it's completely fine to select undefined and to give us more information about who you are later or when you're comfortable sharing that with your therapist. So you're going to continue to fill this out. You're going to scroll down. At any point, if you select other, a box will pop up to give you the opportunity to define for yourself what is most correct for you. You're going to fill all of this in. And then when you get to the end of this, you're going to go back up to the top and use that green button to hit Save Demographic Information. That's really important because nothing gets saved unless you hit that Save button. But all of this information is kept on a secure server. We work very hard to keep our clients' information private. It will not be shared with anybody but the staff at StorieBrook, all of whom are under a confidentiality agreement and are bound by the same rules of confidentiality. And the only reason that a staff member other than your clinician would see your information would be if they needed to do something like call you and tell you that your therapist was not available that day in some kind of emergency or simply for filing purposes. So once you've filled this all in, you may have some problems. There may be some formatting. The phone number, for example, wants you to use the brackets, the parentheses around the first three numbers. But if you have problems, just let us know. And then once it says that your changes have been saved, you're going to look back up at the top and the blue box will have changed. It will now say Complete Intake Forms. This is really important because you do have to sign some paperwork. Unfortunately, everything in this life starts with paperwork before you can start your work with somebody from StorieBrook. So there are 7, I believe, of these forms. There may be more depending if there's a questionnaire that your therapist has asked you to fill out. But the first one you'll see will always be the confidentiality consent for psychotherapy. This is a statement explaining what to expect in terms of your information and how we keep it private. We start with this on purpose because why would you fill in any other information if you don't already have an understanding of what to expect in terms of confidentiality? After that comes our standard intake questionnaire. This is a long list. It has a lot of information about yourself. You can share as much or as little detail as you feel comfortable doing. There are less than a quarter of these questions that are actually required before you go along, and there's an opportunity later in this process to go back and make changes to your form. So you want to go through, ideally answer every question, if not, at least require the ones like these that are marked with a little red asterisk that tell you that they are required. You cannot hit Save and Next until you have answered the required questions. So you go on through here, you complete all of these questions. Eventually you'll reach a place down at the bottom and it will ask you to put in your name as a signature. You're also going to sign these forms at the very end. However, if we do ask you that you write your name at the bottom of every form just to identify that you have read the forms, that you have completed all the forms, and that the information you have given your consent to share it with us. So you fill in your name and then you can hit Save and Next. The next form is the required Georgia Notice of Privacy Practices. This is the information you need regarding HIPAA and HITECH, the federal laws that protect your privacy, as well as Georgia laws that protect your privacy. There's a lot of information, but we do encourage you to read it and then click and sign at the bottom. If you have questions, please discuss this with your therapist. The Informed Consent Services Agreement is similar, but it is specific to the practices of our practice. It is about how we bill you. It is about how we maintain records. It is about all those kinds of related things. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us. And again, at the bottom, you see a little click box and then an opportunity to sign your name. The next is the telehealth treatment consent. We do ask that everyone fills this out, although we know that not everybody may be doing telehealth sessions, but it gives us the opportunity to have that information on file in case you suddenly decide that you need to do a telehealth session because you're not able to get to the office or that you want to change modalities. This is not only a form that gives you information about telehealth and what to expect, it also asks for some information like the address of the locations that you will most commonly be in when doing telehealth sessions with your provider, the contact name of anyone else who is collaborating on your care, and the nearest place that you can access emergency care. This is a way for us to help you get care in case of an emergency because we don't always know what the nearest crisis center to your home is, while we do know what the nearest crisis center to our location is. So if you have questions about what to fill in for what your local crisis hotline or crisis center names and information are, again, you can ask us, but also Google is a great resource for those things. We've also filled in some information there. There's some additional Lifeline and National Crisis Line numbers if you ever need those. And we ask you to list the contact information for 3 members of your support system. Part of the reason we do this is not because we will contact them. We will not. We would never contact an outside party without your consent, but so that we can remind you to contact those people if there's an emergency. So you fill those things in, and yes, I absolutely did smell Snuffleupagus incorrectly while I was doing this. And then you're going to scroll down to the bottom, you're going to read the understanding statements, and then you would indicate your consent to those, again, by clicking and signing. This last form is actually just a document that we want you to have. It's some information about our practice, what to expect in terms of communication, the health record, billing, confidentiality, and dual relationships. Take the time to read that. When you get to the end, so you see the blue line at the top is completely filled in, you have the opportunity to review all of the information that you've put in. So you can click on any of these blue buttons and change answers to any of these documents as you scroll through them. But what you're scrolling through here now is all of the documents that you have signed, all of the information that you have put in. You have not completed this process until you've scrolled all the way through this, and at the bottom, you have added your signature. You can add your signature in one of 2 ways. You can draw your signature either with a mouse or with your finger, or you can type in your signature, just type in your name, and it will create a digital signature for you. Use whichever you prefer, it's absolutely fine. Then go down to the bottom and click this big blue Sign and Submit button. You have the opportunity to download those signed forms, to save them to your computer, or print them for yourself if you wish. You can also go back and look at them at any time in this portal. So if you look at the bar up at the top, you'll see the other parts of the portal to which you always have access. Things like forms, billing, appointments, calendar, inbox, and making a payment. And I'm going to show you another version of this in just a moment, but for example, forms, if you click on forms, it will bring you to the forms that you have just completed. You can always go back there and look at those, look at what you answered. You can also ask to resubmit your forms at any point, and periodically we will ask you to do that in order to update information if it's been a long time since we got forms from you. In addition, you have things like the appointments, so you can see all of your appointments there, when they are, and you can send requests to us. You also can submit your billing information, and I'm going to show you in a different account because I have several dummy accounts set up. Let's just log into this, and you'll see here that The forms are complete in this account. I can download them if I need to. The billing information, I haven't put in an address or phone number, which I probably should, but I have input a payment method. This is really useful. You may do it when you pay your first bill, or you can go ahead and do it in advance. I also can look at all the appointments, my kept appointments and upcoming appointments. In this case, there's only one. If you click on calendar, you will get this little pop-up box that says that that's not available just yet. We're working on that. And then you come to inbox. From your inbox, you can message your provider. You can message the provider that is assigned to you in the system, and we're working on a system that will also allow you to message the administrative provider for our practice in case you need something like rescheduling, things like that. But in general, you would do that with your provider. The last thing you see here is make a payment. All you have to do is click on that button, and especially if you have a payment method already on file, you just select that payment method, click submit, and your payment for your session is all done really quickly. In general, you'll receive an invoice through this system for your sessions within 24 hours of your sessions. It doesn't always happen immediately, but they will show up for you. The last thing I want to show you here is entering your profile details, because if you click on your name and then edit your profile, you can add a preferred name. And I don't know why that doesn't come up in your initial demographic information, but we want people to be able to tell us what they want to be called, because names are extremely important. So you can edit all that demographic information and your profile in that initial spot there. So that was a very, very quick run through of what the client portal looks like. However, you can watch this as many times as you need, and we are happy to answer questions. The other thing that you may want to know is that there's a great deal of useful information provided by Theranest, which is the electronic health record and portal system that we're using, and they're great about answering questions from clients about how to find things or where things are. So please let us know and let them know if there's anything we can do to help. Finally, we simply want to reiterate that you are always welcome to reach out and contact us. You can email us, you can visit our website, you can also follow us on all forms of social media, and connect with us in any way you need to in order to get your needs met. We are happy to help. We are always happy to provide referral sources, answers to administrative questions, talk with you about how your needs may or may not be getting met. Our goal here is to be a part of your support system, not one of your stressors. Thanks, take care of yourselves, and have a great day.